Good evening, everyone. Paul Mirabelli, the mayor of Mountainside. We're here tonight to have our health officer, Megan Avalone, give a presentation about the coronaviruses, how you can prevent the spread of it. I'm sure everyone has heard it a million times, but we're going to present it to you now firsthand. I think it's very important that all of our residents listen to this presentation. I also want to stress that the community at large has been stressing social separation, and it's very important that we try to maintain that. I really want to urge, especially our parents. We've closed the schools in order to keep the kids from congregating together, but I need the parents to work with us to make sure that the children are not congregating, even though they're not now in school. I've seen some gatherings at the ball fields, at the Board of Education fields, at the Borough Hall fields, at the Lady of Our Lord's fields. Those fields, just so everyone knows, are officially closed. We worked in conjunction with Father Richard and with Janet Walling, the superintendent of the Board of Education, and everyone concurs that those fields are now officially closed. So please, keep your kids away from other kids. I know it's going to be very difficult, but that's what we need to make sure we stop any potential spread of the coronavirus in Mountainside. So I want to turn it over to Megan, and she's going to give you a presentation. Thank you, Megan.
Thank you, Mayor. So we've been hearing about coronavirus COVID-19 for a few weeks now. And I know the messaging has been frequent, but I want to remind residents that there are really some important things that we can do to stop the chain of infection. As the mayor correctly stated, we really want to remind all residents that they need to really be practicing social distancing. That might be a confusing term. So I want to go into a little bit about what that means. So what we're talking about when we're talking about social distancing is really staying home as much as possible. If you do have to go out, we're hoping that you stay further than 6 feet away from others. Additionally, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC, is currently recommending that individuals do not hold gatherings with more than 50 people. And correctly, as the mayor stated, the reason that we close schools is really to help stop children from interacting. So the only way that that's really going to be effective is if parents keep their children home and don't have the kids congregate downtown or at each other's homes in large groups. Additionally, the governor has stated that all bars, restaurants, gyms, and movie theaters close in New Jersey and will remain closed until further notice. People usually congregate in these areas, so that's why they are closed. Restaurants and bars will be permitted to offer takeout services. Supermarkets and pharmacies, though, they will remain open. Additionally, stated today by the governor, universities are also closed. And we're also discouraging residents from making non-essential travel between 8 p.m. and 5 a.m. And then the common things that you may have heard are still 100% absolutely true. We want residents to wash their hands very frequently, 20 seconds with soap or water. If you don't really know how long 20 seconds is when you're washing, it's the happy birthday song twice. Avoid touching your face as much as possible, and if hand washing, soap and water is not available, please use hand sanitizer that's at least 60% alcohol. The other thing that I wanted to stress is I think it's really important that residents get factual, up-to-date information. There's a lot of information sources out there to us, but I want to make sure that the information that we take in and that we believe is actually from a reputable source. So please, any information that you may hear on Facebook, on Twitter, from a neighbor, please just take that for what it's worth, that it might not actually be reputable, and we're referring residents back to 3 main sources for reputable, up-to-date information. That's the CDC website, the New Jersey Department of Health website, and the Westfield Regional Health Department also has a coronavirus website. Additionally, the Department of Health came out with a bunch of other resources this week, which I think would be very helpful to residents. On the Department of Health, on their coronavirus website, they now have a county dashboard where you can look on and see up-to-the-minute case counts for each county and statewide in New Jersey. They also have something called a warm line. So this is a resource for people seeking mental health services. Certainly, this is a high anxiety time for all of us, right? And this is kind of unprecedented territory. But for individuals who feel like they may need to talk to somebody, the warm line is available 24 hours a day, and it has operators in multiple languages. The number for that is 1-877-294-HELP. or 4357. Again, that's 1-877-294-4357. The other resource that the Department of Health has recently put on their website is a graphic for the public to access their risks. So if you feel like you may have signs and symptoms of coronavirus, this will help determine what actually may be a sign and symptom and what may be just common allergies. And additionally, it's just really, really important that we all do our part to stop the chain of infection. So, that means all the things I've mentioned before, but staying home if you feel sick. If you still have to go to work, please, if you start to feel sick, stay home. Also, if you start to feel as though you have signs and symptoms of COVID-19, please call your healthcare provider before showing up.